Yo, yo, yo.
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Man, I feel great. Ready to get
Man,
this segment going.
all right, man. It's the Detroit Lions season, the podcast, man. Appreciate everybody that's tuning in. Like I said before, we getting a lot of new viewers. I'm checking the stats, man. Analytics is looking good. Let's get this show going. This one's going to be about it possibly being number 9, Matthew Stafford's last game as a Lion, man. Um, we spoke about the gruesome game today, but we lost number 9 early in the game. Looked like an ankle injury. He's been battling injuries all season. Seems like it's only 1 week left in the season, bro. Do you see
Mm.
him closing it out, and then everything that we've spoke about us personally, as far as him possibly leaving Detroit, possibility. Not saying that he will. It's a possibility that he might be leaving Detroit. Do you think today was his last game, man?
Oh, wow. Do I think it was his last game?
As a
No.
Lion, as a
As a
Lion.
Lion? No, I don't think it was his last game as a Lion. Do I think it should be his last game of the season? Absolutely. Do I think that it should be his last game as a Lion? I do. But do I think that will actually happen? No. But I do want to, remind people that number 9, Matthew Stafford, hasn't finished a season healthy in 3 years. So for the last 3 years, he's been dealing with injuries to where he could not finish the end of the season. 2018, he did finish the end of the season, but he finished the end of the season playing pretty terrible with a broken back. And I believe we picked top 10 that year as well. Um, of course, last year he didn't play. He only played 8 games into the season, so he didn't play the final 8. And then, this year he was kind of, he had a, I mean, honestly, he had an injury riddled season. If you look from the top of the season, all the way till now, he had a pretty injury riddled season. The finger, the ribs, he was listed as back a few times. So
He
his
just
body,
been he just been an Iron Man to where he still fights these injuries. So
exactly, and
it seems it's yeah. Go
it's a
ahead.
it's a good and a bad thing because um, just coming from I'm not a doctor or anything, but coming from a medical family, it's like you learn those things. When you play through those injuries, like you keep playing through ankle injury after ankle injury. That's when the MCL tears, or that's when
Right.
the ACL. You break your ACL. That's when those things happen, and you know I got to give this to him. He plays through those injuries, but look at what it's doing to his body. Is literally now breaking down. He's taken so many hits over the years, people have forgotten. His body is breaking down now. He
Right.
Today, the injury he got, he hardly got touched today.
Right. Right.
Hardly, he hardly got touched, and he was already injured.
And I feel like because we spoke about this a couple weeks ago, it's like yo, shut it down, shut it down. Now it's kind of looking like the trade value should go down on him a little bit. If I'm looking at
Yeah,
if I'm the
yeah,
outside looking in, I'm
yeah,
like
yeah.
just like how you
It's
just said. I'm just like yo, bro, like you breaking down. It's obvious. Like
yeah, yeah.
why would I
His
give up
his
some picks for you?
his trade value is so. I mean, and it's high, but it's still down. And that's still a big mistake. It's a mistake that's going to haunt this franchise. As people seen today, Bob Quinn really destroyed this. They really destroyed this team, as you seen today. It, and Stafford's trade value was at its highest it's ever been last year when the trade rumors were circling, and it was possibility that the Lions could have drafted a Tua. They could have drafted, maybe moved up and got a Joe Burrows. um, he's still going to have some trade value, I think, this offseason. But it's if I'm a GM and I'm looking at him, I'm like, he hasn't. And if I'm a smart GM and I'm trying to leverage, hey, Stafford hasn't. He hasn't been the healthiest guy. He's got finger injury after finger injury, back injury. When you injure your back, it's almost never 100%. So I'm sure every quarterback is dealing with things, but it's going to work against the Lions that if they maybe would have had just set him set him when they should have. They should have set him about 3 games ago and said, listen, sit down. get some rest, go see your family, the kids, or go see Kelly and
Right, right.
get her out of Detroit. We know she don't like being here.
We'll
Go
we'll
take
we'll,
her
we'll,
on vacation.
we're gonna reevaluate this after the last game of the season. We'll talk. We'll see you then. Just chill, relax. You know what I mean?
Relax.
That's what
That's
should have
what
been done.
should have happened.
You
But
know.
when you have people at the top who are not, when they don't know what they're doing. I mean, you got Daryl. I mean, you got Daryl Bevel. This guy, he's still trying to play for. He still wants to be a head coach somewhere. So he's still trying to play himself into being a head coach somewhere. So, and then you got a guy like Stafford who's still trying to play his way into staying in Detroit. So, I mean, his body is literally
I
telling
don't
him,
think he's
man.
trying to play. I have to disagree. I don't think he's trying to stay in Detroit. I
Yeah, I know
do.
you. I know
I
you.
don't know. I don't
I
know
know
where
you don't
that's
think
coming
he wants
from.
to stay, but I think he wants to stay in Detroit.
Let
I
me
don't
ask.
think.
Let me
Yeah,
throw
go
something
ahead.
out there. Let me throw something out there.
Yep, yep,
And this is to all the viewers too.
yep.
Just to throw a loophole in it, because I like to play devil's advocate.
You do.
What if Stafford threw out retirement? What would you think about that?
If he threw out retirement, I would not believe it. Like I wouldn't be like super shocked. Like, oh wow, he retired. Um, I don't. I wouldn't be shocked. But
So it
I,
wouldn't that, and that's why I asked that question. It wouldn't shock you at all.
no, because I've seen. I didn't. I've seen players do that. I mean, we how many players have we seen from the Lions just say forget it. Um, of course they weren't in a position of the thing with Stafford is he can be traded if he wants to be. You know, Barry Sanders couldn't be traded. The rumor was he wanted to be traded to Miami, and Detroit was like, you're not gonna play for us, or you're either gonna play for us or nobody. Calvin, thing with him was, I guess he just got tired. Whatever the case, he got beat down. Detroit wasn't treating him right. He just said, "Forget it. I don't want to play anywhere." He did say that he thought all football teams treated their players like Detroit, treated their players. So he didn't. He just didn't want to play. But with Stafford, I see him. I don't see him retiring, but it wouldn't shock me. I wouldn't be like, "Oh wow."
I threw that out there because I've been thinking about it. Like when you talk about, it, I'm like, because we keep throwing this out there. He's staying, he's leaving, and it's like I don't know. It's like a difficult understanding behind that. But then again, I think personally, if I was Stafford, I would think about retirement. I wouldn't think about retirement from the game like how the rest of the guys did it. Maybe a short term retirement, maybe something to get my body right. There's
You
something
mean
wrong.
take a year off
Take a
and then
minute,
like come
yeah,
back?
just
Like
like
how what's the guy that's quarterback? Cam Newton honestly should have did. Cam Newton this year he shouldn't have even played ball. He
right.
should have literally set this year out. Got his body together and healthy because now look at him. He did end up getting a starting job in New England, but look at that team. That team wasn't anything, and I think he's getting more blame than he should be because that team is garbage. That team basically is a Lions team would have half bit. I'm
Hey,
seriously.
I just spoke to one of my partners on the phone. I said Tom Brady and the Bucks is 10-5, and New England now without Tom Brady is third place in the NFC in the AFC East.
Because we see the
Yikes,
impact. Yikes! You see the impact on it's the impact of the quarterback.
man.
And people don't understand. I keep trying to. It's a guy on Twitter right now that's talking to me. I'm trying to tell him, listen, because he was wondering how did the how did the Patriots get back to the Super Bowl if if Matt Patricia defense was so bad. I keep telling him, man, Tom Brady.
That's what it looks like, bro.
Do you not see Tom Brady?
Yeah,
Do you not understand that man is the GOAT?
Bill Belichick better get it right soon because if he
Man,
doesn't, he
he
will not.
going
He's gonna start looking like not that guy.
nope, yeah, he gonna start looking just like Matt Patricia. Watch. You
Watch.
know, it happened to everybody who wins and then falls from grace. Everybody, you're not gonna stay on top forever. So you're gonna have a fall from grace. Look at what happened with Nick Saban. Nick Saban didn't win what 2 years in a row. and then stuff start coming out. People start speaking out a little bit more. That's what happens when you winning. You can cover up anything you want. When you start losing, stuff is coming out. The writers, the reporters, they have to have juicy stories. They're gonna dig. They're gonna find something when you start losing.
You already know, brother. And on that note, man, another episode down, man. Appreciate you. We gonna probably link up. Anything come up, man. Hopefully we get some news about the GM and the coaching search this week.
That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping, it's a new week. It probably won't be till after New Year's though when we really get some real news. But hopefully they back in working already.
I hope so because I think the quicker I feel like we need to get somebody in the hot seat right away. We gotta get somebody in those
I hope
seats.
so too. I want them to really bad. I really want them to get somebody in there, and I'm hoping that it's Rick Smith. Get him in there.
You going with
Get
Rick
his
Smith? I
Yeah,
thought you.
that's
I
my
thought
number
you.
one guy.
I thought it was Thomas, man.
No, Tom. Look. Remember, I said I like Tom. I like TD, but my number one would be Rick
All
Smith.
right, Rick Smith. All right, now who's your number one coach with him? Rick Smith
Oh,
and Salah?
gotta be say. Gotta be. Did you see the 49ers defense today?
I did. I did.
Man, 12 points. Come on, man. When the last time Detroit held somebody to 12 points?
All right, man. I'm gonna run with that. I'm gonna give Salah one more week, bro. I'm gonna
Give
say
him one more.
one
Give
more
him one
week.
more week, dog. One more week.
All right, man. Appreciate you, man. We're gonna wrap this up, but look out for us real soon. We're gonna start dropping a lot more episodes on y'all, keeping y'all in tune with what's going on and how we view things, man.
That's a bet. All right. Peace to y'all.
Peace.